podcast and take this walk with me.
Welcome back to the Three Parallels podcast with your host, the brother Dr. Jason Branch, where I am a coach and I help people. Who exactly? I'm glad you asked. High achieving millennials who may be a little neurospicy rediscover who they were, embrace who they are, and make room for who they're trying to become by utilizing this gator mentality. What's a gator? Glad you asked. Gators are grounded, aligned, transformed, observant, and restored. If that is you or that's somebody you want to be, you came to the right place. This podcast has transformed me and any and everybody who's been listening. Don't believe me? You better ask somebody. Ooh, we going to work today. I hope y'all ready because I'm by myself. I ain't got nobody with me but God and me, all three versions that I know of, but there are hundreds of other ones because I'm a human. And what I've learned about humans, there are several versions of us, and every version of us is a person that has needs, wants, desires, goals, dreams, and everything else in between. And I'm going to talk about a few of those folks today by myself because it's just me. So we finna talk. We finna have a conversation. We finna have a history lesson. We finna really go places we've never gone before because that's what this show is about. This is a transformational journey from episode one to whatever episode this thing transitions into. So I'm just gonna give you me, and you can do whatever you want to do with it, with me. Okay. Now that we're on the same page, let's dive in. Today we are talking about Belief Gate. Belief Gate. This has been sitting on my heart for a while, and I've decided that I'm gonna talk about it because ain't nobody talking about it. And what I'm gonna talk about that ain't nobody talking about is one side of the coin. And I've learned over time that everything in life has at least two sides. Think about a piece of bread. You never had one side of bread. Uh-huh. Side A, side B. Think about them cassette tapes back in the day. When you was rocking Wu-Tang back in the day. Anybody rocking Wu-Tang with me back in the day? Had a Wu-Tang tape? You know what I mean? It's two sides. Side A, side B. And I'm gonna talk about both today to the best of my ability, but I'm spending a lot of time on side A because side A is what hit me. It's what struck me. So, as you all know, I love documentaries because that's the time for me to study. That's the time for me to get to know people. That's the time for me to really dive into the human experience. And the more I dive into the human experience, it helps me help humans. And being a therapist, being a coach, being a consultant, being a speaker, being a father, being a husband, being all the things that I am, learning about humans helped me become better at being me. Come on with it. I hope y'all with me. Okay. I ain't no preacher. I'm a teacher. I'm here to give you something if you want it. Now, if you don't want it, stay tuned because I'm going to give you things you didn't even know you needed. How do I know? Because I'm me. Booyah. Listen, these are one of those moments that now the show, we're starting to get some funding in. And if you want to contribute, guess what? We have a Cash App now. So use the handle, the dollar sign, the number three, Parallels Podcast, two capital P's for Parallels Podcast. Hop in the Cash App and drop us a gem anytime you feel moved to do so. If something inspires you, something encourages you, you get hit with head with a honey bun, whatever. Gift that keeps on giving, you have opportunity now. Now that said, let's get to Belief Gate. Belief Gate is an a new name or the surname alias that I'm going to use for Ocean Gate. You remember a few years back, there was a story on the headlines that we could not avoid about this submarine that just went missing. You know, these people on this submarine, this underwater vessel, they just they were lost, and it was days on end, and the conclusion was that this submarine imploded. Story passed, people were upset, a lot of tears, a lot of pain, a lot of stuff, and then we moved on. Because that's what we do as humans. We move on. That's what we do as Americans. We move on. What's next? What's the latest headlines? What's the latest news? If you don't believe me, turn on the news. What's on news today? And what was on news last week? We move on. What's on the news today? What was on news last month? We move on. Now, I'm having a hard time moving on because back in 2008, right now in 2025, I'm recognizing that back in 2008, we actually could have painted the White House black. I believe we couldn't at that time, but what's going on in this time? We could have painted that thing black and put a ballroom in there and everything else because that's what's happening now. But anyway, I just want to talk about it because ain't nobody talking about it. This episode may be controversial and I don't care. I will say, this conversation is more about education than anything else. No shade, no disrespect to the people who lost their lives in the name of science and innovation and technology. No disrespect to any families, people who have passed because of this, people who've been hurt because of it. Whatever situation, I'm not making light of any of that. That is very important to me to share that. And if you are squeamish, this is probably not the best episode for you because I'm talking about some truths. And for many of us, this is why this is named Belief Gate. We don't care about the truth. We don't care about the facts. We care more about our feelings because feelings are greater than facts for a lot of people. And for me, I'm moving away from these beliefs that just no longer serves me and to move into a place and space that do. And that's if I have this ability to think that 97% of the things that I do or believe in life are just beliefs, then I can choose to do things differently. And that's exactly what I'm doing. And this is what this episode is designed to do to help you to pivot. Viewer, listener discretion is advised. So, many of the names that will be used in this is to protect me. Because listen, I ain't got it like that for nobody to take from me. Okay. So, Belief Gate. I told you what it's related to. So, we're going to change some names up. Now, the person that was behind Belief Gate, this scientist, this engineer, this guy had this desire to create to open oceans for all humans or all humanity. So he had this dream, this belief, this idea that if I can find a way to take a water vessel and take it underneath the water and go a minimum of 4,000 meters beneath the sea, then I can open up a world that we as humans have never been able to explore or experience. And that 4,000 meters is the equivalent in real life to the actual Titanic. For those who don't know, the Titanic sank and it's still down here. 4,000 meters underneath the sea, under the sea. We are not talking about Sebastian. We're going to have fun. We're going to learn. But man, this is hard. So a lot of jokes are going to come because this is a tough episode, even for me. I just want you to know that now. It's emotional, it's heavy, it's deep. So I'm a play and laugh a lot. Just need you to know what you're getting into. So that was the goal. Open oceans for humanity. Now let's go back in time. Why is this man even interested in open oceans for humanity? And I'll tell you, this man was exposed to life at a very high level at a very young age. And all the lived experiences he had and the options, opportunity, and resources eventually led to his demise. Now, all in the name of innovation. A lot of times when it comes to innovation, um, Uber, Amazon, Google, you name it, Apple, sometimes it requires a loss, and that loss could be lives. And that's the part of building innovation. So, what this person had, let's call him, hmm, John, let's call him John R. We're just going to call him John. Okay. So, John R., the mastermind behind this, he was blessed with the ability to have the five fecta. Stay with me. Stay with me. He had the five fecta. Now, the five fecta is a new term that I created. And this five fecta came from the derivative of trifecta. Trifecta can refer to a specific type of bet in horse racing that a group of three desirable things or a company or a brand, the trifecta is in its name. For example, it can mean a bet on the first, second, and third place horses in the exact order. That's related to horse racing. In general, it's a combination of three things, especially three positive, successful elements, such as trifecta and losing weight can be a combination of strength training, low intensity exercise, and a great diet. In government, US, trifecta can refer to a situation where one political party controls the presidency, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. You understand trifecta now. Now, let me tell you about the fivefecta. The fivefecta, to me, in these United States, is one of the greatest superpowers you can ever have in life. What do I mean by this? I'm glad you asked. The fivefecta is the ability to give you a get out of everything free card. Jail, trouble, responsibility, you name it. You can literally get away with murder if you have the fivefecta. So, what's the fivefecta, Dr. Branch? I'm glad you asked. Number one, got to be a male. You a man out here, you got little twig and berries, you good. Number two, you're white. Yes, white, white, white. You're a man, you're white, you're heterosexual, meaning you're married to a woman or you're connected to a woman or the opposite sex. You're heterosexual. That's the trifecta. But some go further. The fourth is your pedigree, meaning your education. That matters. And the fifth is you came from money, meaning wealth. If you have those five things, you can literally get away with murder. Don't believe me? Ask Epstein. Ask Weinstein. Ask Trump. Ask anybody with those five, and you'll see the pattern. Now, the closest person of color that got to the fivefecta was OJ. And you see what happened to him. This ain't funny, but it's funny. OJ was the closest thing. I ain't black, I'm OJ. Yeah, OJ, you still black, bro. So therefore, once you have this, you can do anything. And I mean anything. So, John, that's what we call him. John decided because his background, his upbringing, again, the fivefecta, that he was trying to go to the sea because all his family from the background was surrounded by going to the moon. So John's dad was an engineer, worked in NASA, had a lot of friends from NASA, first man on the moon, Buzz and them. They was cool. They was at the crib, kicking it with them. So John grew up watching these amazing beings do some amazing things because of the resources that they had, because of the pedigree, because of the fivefecta and everything else in between. So growing up with that, he knew we finna go to the moon. So when he came of age and going through the process of his own life, the fivefecta began to come into play once he graduated high school and went further to get his education. He got his education. He is an Ivy League trained at Princeton in engineering. Now, don't get me wrong, it was Princeton, it was engineering, but he wasn't the brightest student. How do we know? His grades. His grades similar to mine, if not worse. But he got a pass. Why? Fivefecta. Left Princeton, went to UC Berkeley after he graduated. So he got his MBA. UC Berkeley. Pedigree. The wealth. Ooh, this is the part that kind of stings a bit. The wealth, not just from his dad, but his family lineage, goes so far back that his namesake is due to two political figures that signed the Declaration of Independence. Don't believe me? Check the research, boo boo. Let's go a little further. He's so deep in his pedigree and his wealth that even with him trying to move away from the moon and go deep into the ocean, he is a descendant of two people within his family that literally died on the Titanic. They had a ticket, they were there, they enjoyed the show and some, and they're still at the bottom of the ocean in the Titanic. I just want to talk about it because nobody's talking about it. So let's move forward. All these things happen. Why did he change from going to the moon to going to the ocean? Because the moon was already taken up and taken out. During this time, late 80s, early 90s, Elon Musk was around and then going further. So he started competing with these giants and these titans, and he was a little intimidated by these giants and titans because he wanted to be just like them, but he didn't have the notoriety at the time because he hasn't done anything to that level besides the things that he done. So he decided that we're going to take this ocean exploration to the next level. And opening oceans for all humanity was his claim to fame. That was the antithesis of Elon Musk related to Mars. So since I can't go to Mars, I just can't make that happen. Let's go down to the ocean. It connects to my namesake anyway. So he decided to develop this underwater submarine, got a whole team behind him, and paid a bunch of people to do whatever he wanted them to do. No shade, no disrespect. If you got it, flaunt it. I just ain't. So called all these people up, engineers. Hey, we need some money. We need to get this thing done. So he used a lot of his own money to fund this thing, and then he started reaching out to friends, family, and everybody else in between to get more money. And this started about 2017, 2018, and he started getting funding to put together this submarine. But he didn't want to do it like everybody else. So he tried different ways of doing it, and this underwater vessel was too heavy. So he looked at looking at different material, and the material he chose was titanium and carbon fiber. Now, titanium and carbon fiber is not designed to withstand a lot of pressure. So the deeper he tried to go in the ocean, the more the titanium and carbon fiber began to break away, break apart. And even in this, with all these scientists and researchers, he said, let's keep going, keep building, make it stronger, make it better. And these scientists and these people are telling him, hey, bro, this ain't it. We keep testing, we keep failing. This ain't the way. And he said, go ahead, go forth and be great, or resign. And then many people left because they saw the writing on the wall, but he didn't care. He kept pushing. Why? That's what privilege allows you to do. Keep pushing. Get over it. I'll hire somebody that's going to do your job. So he decided, hey, I'm going to hire this engineer. We're going to call him Dave. Dave, I want you to use this with my submarine. I want you to, my steering wheel, I need to be a PlayStation controller. And Dave, like, what? Yeah, I need my submarine steering wheel to be a PlayStation controller. And Dave was like, man, you done lost your mind. And John was like, all right, you done lost your job. He fired Dave on the spot and hired Mark. And Mark was like, you want a PlayStation controller for the submarine? Done. I got two of them, and both of them work. Ah, don't believe me. Don't trust me, y'all. Don't trust me. Trust the facts. But who cares about facts when you're in your feelings? So therefore, he started bringing all these people together, fired those that didn't tell him yes, hired those that would say yes, and built this machine between 2018 and 2023 where he's making tons of dives every day, every week, every year, and it's millions and millions and millions of dollars used to play because he wanted to open oceans for all humanity, which could cost you between $7,400 to $10,000 per dive. That is not designed for me because Disneyland don't even cost that much. Come on, bro. We finna go to the Titanic for 10 grand? Come on. I'll watch documentaries from here on out. Save me $10,000. But anyway, for some people, yeah, we going. We want to go. So he brings people on this boat with him to take these dives. And he got closer to 4,000 meters. And before he could get to it, the ship would start damaging itself. So he gets to a point where he finally gets down there and made some changes and ready to bring people in with him on this journey. So he brought five people with him to be exact. And these five people, I'll keep their information secure because it's public info. But he took these five people on to do their first journey before it went public. So this is the background group. We gonna knock this thing out. If this works, we good forever. So this was the final thing for him. Although this is the final for him, his belief was this thing is going to make it 4,000 feet. We're going to get to the Titanic. I believe in it so much. I brought these people with me. Although all the tests prior to this final dive ended in failure. Factual, meaning that's evidence. He had evidence that this will not work. Even the people working on it knew it wouldn't work, but they believed in him. They believed what he said. They believed what he did. So they move forward. And there was a social media influencer that was going to go down, and something happened. He went down one dive, but he didn't make the second dive. And he was sharing his lived experience about that could have been me because he was able to live to tell the tale, but he understood how much he believed in the idea of this submarine, not the reality. Because the reality, once he found out later, all of this was fact, was beliefs and ideas, not facts. And this whole situation didn't bother me at all. It was just a news line until I saw the documentary. And when I saw the documentary, I struggled. I struggled. I struggled. And my struggle was because how I think and who I am as a person who has two of the fivefecta at this time in life. And those two to me is being a man and my pedigree, meaning my education. I'm part of a very small percentage of people who have a doctorate and black and a therapist who has a therapist. I'm a unicorn, but I'm black with a gold horn. So I know I got at least two. The third is coming. That's that wealth. That's coming later on. Thank y'all in advance. So, and hetero. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I got some heterosexuality going on over here. I'm heterosexual in these streets. I got three. I ain't even know it because I wasn't counting half of this stuff. I got three things I ain't even know it. Shout out to the LGBTQIA plus community. Much love. So looking at this, watching the documentary is when things got really tough for me because it gave me the whole history and the history from 2018 to 2023. He had ample opportunities to explore all and hurt many, and no one batted an eye. Because when it's all said and done, the submarine did exactly what what it tested to do, which was fail. So an hour and a half into their journey, radio communication went completely silent, and that's when the news and the media got all up in arms around. Oh my God, there's a submarine lost at sea. Meanwhile, this has been going on for since 2018. We know nothing about it. We ain't know nothing about it until it became what? Entertainment. Oh my God, a submarine lost at sea. Not thinking about the people currently, humanity that's lost in life. That's what bothered me. He wanted to open oceans for humanity, and in the life, the right now, the living room where we are presently. Let's talk about LA and homelessness and mental health and mental illness and generational curse. I mean, you can name it. We need help here, not in the ocean. Can you help the people here? Do you know what between $7,500 and $10,000? Do you know what that's a ride for someone for a couple hours? Do you know that what that could do for somebody's life? That's when it hurt me. And it hurt me to my core because this man had the ability to not only use all this money, all these resources to together a product that failed consistently, and he still was able to do it. Even some of the people that were whistleblowers within Belief Gate was sharing publicly, writing letters, email, everything. Still was able to get through with it. Still was able to do it. No one believed them because your beliefs are everything for some people. So from 2018 to 2023, there were all beliefs that ended tragically. So what bothered me the most, this guy with the fivefecta had an ability, had resources, support, privilege. He had a lot of things I didn't have, and I felt some kind of way. What hit me the most is this man had the ability to use all these resources and all this support and money to put a submarine underwater. And people that look like me, a black man specifically, can't even go to Subway restaurant and get a foot-long submarine sandwich. That's when I lost my shit. And it was just a thought that I had based off of my lived experience. So I decided, let me look deeper. This is just my belief. Let me put some facts behind it. So I did what I encourage you all to do. Whatever belief you have, put some facts behind it and see if that belief stays the same. Probably not. But we're not putting facts behind beliefs because the beliefs is a fact. So let's go there. The most recent account, I'm sorry, the oldest account, which means documented. This is factual. Whatever provides you evidence, whatever you can prove is considered a fact. I want to give you some facts around what I just said with the Subway restaurant. So, in real time, one of the oldest on record moments of this was the Dobson family. It was an incident that happened in Noonan, Georgia in 2018. I kid you not. Don't believe me. Go look it up. Because in July 2018, Felicia and Othaniel Dobson, along with their four children and aunt, one of the married couple's sister, stopped at a restaurant in Noonan, Georgia during a road trip. An employee called 911 alleging the family was suspicious. Citing their frequent restroom visits was to use water cups for soda. The police responded, but the family had already left. The store later apologized, and the employee was placed on administrative leave. So this family traveling from Noonan, Georgia, trying to get to New Jersey, made a stop with kids because they have children. Made a stop at a Subway restaurant to refresh, to recharge, to go to the bathroom, to get lunch. And not even a foot long, a 6 inch. And they were accosted by the police because the police were called on them and they was taken back to the store to find out what really happened. And once the police did an investigation and find out they were just a family traveling, and the person that was working there, that's why she was put on administrative leave. She called 911 believing that these people were up to something because of what they looked like. 7 people were accosted and they shared in a post interview. It changed their lives. It was traumatic. And it's something they still live with to this day. 2019, June 2019, Subway manager in Spring, Texas was fired after text messages surfaced in which he denied a job to a black teenager, stating, "I don't want those people in my store." The incident highlighted ongoing issues of racial discrimination in hiring practices. 2019, 2020. I don't know why this is happening in the summer, Subway. Summertime, folks just want a sandwich. You too black. Get the hell up out of here. We don't serve your kind. Because in July 2020, Kevin Wheeler, a black man, reported that a Subway employee in Massachusetts refused to serve him, stating, "I don't help your kind." He walks out of the store. He goes immediately to post a live on social media. And it led to a public outcry. And the employee was subsequently fired. However, what do you think happened for Kevin? To live life where, as a black man, I can't even get a submarine sandwich. Meanwhile, from 2018 to 2023, someone was throwing money away to prove that they were better than Elon now. And 5 people lost their lives, and hundreds of others lost their sanity. The reason I share all this because this is just a submarine and Subway sandwich, but I want us to take this thing home. And taking it home is we all are impacted by our beliefs. Best way I can describe this is an equation. I'm not a mathematician. I'm a therapist, not just a therapist. I'm a therapist, which is a big deal. Shout out to all the therapists. Shout out to my therapist, Dr. Ho. What up, baby? I'm out here. I love my therapist. She does shit. If you love your therapist, let them know. Send them a card. Give them some, hit the Cash App. Like, really give them some love. I mean that. And I can't wait to have therapists on this show and my own therapist on the show when that time comes. And yeah, there's that. So as we close out, I want to share something to bring it home because this is on TV. This is something that happened to other folks. Now I want to talk about us and our own home. This simple equation is 2 plus 2 is 5 and 2 plus 2 is 4. What's the difference between these two equations? I'm glad you asked. One is a fact and one is a belief. Which one is a belief? 2 plus 2 is 5. It's because you felt some kind of way about it when I said it. And now you're thinking about it because I said it. The difference between these two equations, and one is a fact and one is a belief, the one is the fact is the one that can be proven. 2 plus 2 equals 4 can be proven. 2 plus 2 is 5 just feels good. You know what else feels good? This cabinet, closet, drawer somewhere in your house, usually in the kitchen, designated for things that don't work. You know you got one. If you ain't, you had one. You know somebody got one. What's in that drawer? Oh man, you going in. I hear you. I hear you right now. Plastic bags, batteries that don't work, paper clips, bread twists and ties, coupons, expired, menus from restaurants that burned down years ago. iPhone boxes and cases you don't have, you don't own. Remote control to TV you got rid of years ago. Instructions to a microwave you had since 97. Rubber bands, stamps, pennies that turn green. Ah, just a bunch of stuff. And guess what? From birth, if you're thinking about 2018 to 2023, I want you to think about from birth. That junk drawer has followed you from birth to 2025 or whenever you listening to this podcast episode. Because that junk drawer is still there full of shit. So if that's my literal junk drawer, which I can get up and walk to and remove some things, imagine the figurative one that's inside of us in the junk that we still carry. I just want to talk about it because nobody's talking about it. We all got it. Everybody has it. And there's nothing wrong with having it. The only problem is all of us having this shit that's in us, part of our life, lived experience, everything else in between. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when I take my shit and give it to other people who ain't asked for it, by walking around with shit on my shoes, messing up somebody else's house. F your couch. F your couch. Shout out Dave Chappelle. Can't wait to have you on the show, bro. Shout out to Rick James. R.I.P. So, our junk drawer, okay? Your assignment, your life work, because that's where we at now, baby. That's where we at. Your life work, I would challenge you to remove one thing out of that junk drawer, literal, that does not serve the current version of you. Yep. That iPhone case from 10 years ago doesn't serve the current version because you got a new iPhone. What are we talking about? And again, when it comes to beliefs, we don't care about the facts. Here's an example. Talking about that iPhone case, right? Right now, if Apple decided to put out a high-tech Bluetooth booty scratcher, folks would be standing in line to get it. Man, you finna get that new booty scratcher? Man, yeah, I heard it got Bluetooth. Oh man, I can't believe it. Wait till I clean my bathroom up just for this. I'm telling you what I know, not what I heard. Why? Because Apple just dropped a sock for $250. It was a line out the door. Who cares about facts when you're in your feelings? Whatever Apple puts its name on, we going to get it because of what we believe. So I want you to challenge your beliefs, and the ones that don't work, get rid of them. If that's my literal drawer, imagine my figurative home, meaning the anger, the frustration, my approach, my belief in these things that does not serve me and keep doing the same thing over and over again because it's the culture. It's for the culture. Get out of here. Culture kills. Culture kills, man. And until you decide to develop and create your own culture that works best for you, you're going to continue this rat race. You might as well be in that submarine. If it hurts, that means I'm helping. If it don't, then I ain't. Because what I'm sharing is different perspectives that we don't get because I've never heard it. Beliefs can be so strong that even when somebody doesn't tell me everything, I assume. And whatever I assume, it's usually the worst. The what ifs, it's the worst. So I just need you to see you, okay, in real time. Get a therapist. All right. That's what this show is also about. Get you a therapist, a new one. Fire your therapist if they're horrible. Digging into understanding you is what truly matters to me. Because once I understand me, I understand everything else in life. So me being able to share this story is because I am neurodivergent, which I didn't even know that was a thing. But that's my superpower because my superpower allows me to watch a documentary and see things beyond what was given to me. Now I use this to help you help yourself. That is it. That is all. Guess what it costs you? Your time and your attention. That's it. But if you want more, I got more. Gator Scares Journal available right now. Holla at your boy. It's here. It's ready. It's on Amazon. Bezos now. Hold this. And for many people struggling, how are you going to support something on Amazon and Amazon believe this and Amazon believe that? Same thing with Target. Target believe this, Target believe that. We believe this, we believe that. That's why we boycott. We believe. But the fact is, if you ain't rock with me anyway until George Floyd died, what makes me think you rock with me now? This hurts, y'all. This hurts me to my heart, but it's honest and it's real. And we'll stand up and stand behind things based off of what we believe, not what we know. What we know comes from what you do. What you do give you results, which is evidence. Those are the facts. So for a fact, and I'll share self-disclose because I don't mind. The Branch family, the doctor's Branch family, we no longer have junk drawers in our house. You know, when we got married 7 years ago, we put all our junk together. Most married couples or most couples, most partnerships, they put everybody bring their shit together. Everybody bring it together because everybody got it. So when you get married, when you get partnered up, you bring y'all stuff together. And we decided, being a therapist, because as my wife being a therapist, I don't get away with nothing. Insane for her. We decided this junk drawer stuff doesn't work. So we took a few weekends and just start removing things that does not serve us. We got two boys, 2 and 4, Carter and Cameron, and they will grow up not knowing what a junk drawer is. Because after we clean it up and clean it out, we added things, and now it transformed or evolved from a junk drawer to a utility drawer. Because everything in that bitch work. We don't keep them plastic bag no more. We done with that because the belief is if I get rid of my plastic bag, how I'm gonna take care of the bathroom trash? How I'm gonna pick up dog poo? How I'm gonna take my lunch to work? They make bags for all of those things. And how much money are you truly saving? It ain't about the money, it's about the culture. If I step on your toes, I do not apologize. Get rid of those bags, at least one. Why? Because you go to the store at least once or twice every 2 weeks or so to get more bags. And for me in California, they're getting rid of bags, plastic ones, but they got the brown ones. Why? Because you still need a bag. Doesn't make no sense to me, but it makes sense to somebody. Plastic bag, paper bag, it's still a bag. It's still trash. Okay, okay. Let me get off this thing. Okay, I'm done. I am seriously done. If this did anything for you, do something with it. Okay? If you're still holding on to these beliefs and ideas that don't serve you, I got to be perfect. I got to be the best. I can't sacrifice. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to be selfish. These are beliefs. If you still use the word should, I should have did this. I should have did that. That's a belief. Should connects to your stepmama, the worst one. And she got 3 kids. Remember Cinderella back in the day? She had them 3 girls, them 3 sisters, was the worst. That's who you rock with every time you say the word should, because should ends in death. Anytime you say should, it's a death sentence because it goes to your past, which you cannot control or change, but you can guilt, shame, and judge yourself for what you didn't know. Listen, this is one of my favorite episodes, and I'm in the middle of it. I ain't even go back and listen to it yet. This is happening live. So you need some new siblings because those siblings be giving you hell, judgment, shame, and guilt from the stepmama should. Now, if you develop a new stepmama and it's a nice one, she auntie, she treats you well. She had 3 kids, they 3 sons, and they don't play nothing about you. That auntie, that's stepmom, is called could. Her name is could. If you change the word should, remove it from your vocabulary and add the word could, it could change your entire life. Because when you use should, it's followed up by the 3 siblings who are brothers who don't play about you. Name Grace, Space, and Patience. When the last time you hung out with them? Never. Listen, I just like to talk about truth. But who cares about the truth? Who cares about the facts when you in your feelings? And I hope you in your feelings so you can start learning the facts. I am whoever I say I am. I'm having a great day today. This is the best podcast episode. This is the best podcast ever. Why? Because I said so. A lot of people say a lot of things that don't mean nothing. How do you know? Think about that last relationship you was in or the one you in right now. I am done. This has been another episode of the Three Parallels Podcast with your host, the brother, Dr. Jason Branch, where I am here as a coach, as a therapist to help people get their shit together. If that is you, give me a call. That is it. That is all. Good night.